What is up? Welcome back to Birdman, also known as at 2024 War Room on X and YouTube. Here I changed it to at 2024 War Room, but really Birdman is also what I go by. But glad to be back on YouTube video here. Haven't done a video in a couple weeks. Just a few things I want to talk about. Hope everybody's having a good post Thanksgiving week. I know that everybody got relaxed last week, and I had 2 days off, so some time with my family in Oklahoma. Had a good time, but obviously I got back to work quickly, and then I've been working ever since. So good to be back on doing a video. Just like to go through a few things that have been going on. So OU football season ended, and talk about that. Talk about Colorado, Buffaloes a little bit, Coach Prime and how that season ended and kind of where they're at right now and what's going on now. And then you got DeSantis supporters. I kind of want to talk about that for a second and what's going on with the Republican race for president. But OU ended the year. Well, they got the bowl game coming up, but we don't know where yet. It looks like it could be the Alamo Bowl, but it looks like they finished the season 10-2. And by the way, your boy picked it at the beginning of the year that OU would go 10-2. So I thought that would be a really good season. I think it is. I mean, I think coming off a 6-7 year, I think that's a really awesome improvement. 4 wins more, and we could be 5 wins more if we win our bowl game. So, hey, some disappointing losses, obviously, to Kansas and to Oklahoma State. They could have easily won 1 or 2 of those games. They could easily be 11 or 12-0, but in all honesty, I don't really think they're a playoff team, and so I'm not really really think they could be much more. I said they won a couple games they could have lost, so I mean you could look at it that way too. So I thought a huge improvement, like I said, coming off that last year, which was a disaster, and look forward to next year. Obviously, the 2 days ago, Jeff Lebby, the offensive coordinator, got hired by Mississippi State, so he's going to the SEC, where he was actually, I think, at Ole Miss as the offensive coordinator just a couple years ago before he went to OU. So he's back in the SEC as head coach now for Ole Miss. I like Jeff Lebby. I mean, he did an okay job, I thought. I know this year they were doing a lot better on the passing game. I think number 6 in the country. I mean, I think overall they did pretty well on offense, but I think at times he was too conservative with his play calling, to be honest with you. Just in certain situations. Like, I thought it was better this year, but last year I thought it was actually terrible. I don't know why they went with Davis Baville last year. I don't know what they were thinking with that. But overall, I thought he did an okay job. I think Lincoln Riley's offense was still better. Even though I don't miss sneaking Lincoln as a head coach, I think offensively wise, I think we were a little better with Lincoln Riley. So we'll see what happens in that position. But like I said, a great year for OU. I think in a normal year, like if you look at the past 15 years, 20 years or so, I wouldn't say that's a great year if you're like 10-2. I mean, 10-2 is okay, but OU has been playoff team, 4 out of 5 years or 3 out of 5 years just recently. And so we think about 10-2, I mean, coming off that last year is a great thing. So a lot to build on. Great recruiting class coming in for next year. Also, there's a lot of great stuff going on. You got Dylan Gabriel. I think he can play another season. I don't know why I thought he was a senior, but he could play another year. I think these COVID years, they add another year on, but we'll see what happens. I've heard that he might hit the transfer portal, but I really haven't seen anything specific on that. So, like I said, a huge year. I wish OSU, Oklahoma State's going to be playing the Big 12 game this Saturday at 11 a.m. in Arlington versus Texas. And Texas is obviously looking to get into the playoffs. If they win, I think if they need to win and someone else needs to lose, I think they're looking outside in. One of those top 4 teams need to lose, and Texas has a pretty good chance to get in. So I'll be rooting for Oklahoma State this weekend. I'm not a UT fan, never will be a UT fan. And quite honestly, I hope they get destroyed. But I don't think they'll get destroyed, but hopefully Oklahoma State can hold tight with them. Hopefully they can win that game this weekend. Oklahoma State, they win. They're in a January 6th bowl, or the New Year's 6 games or whatever it's called. So hopefully they can win. I don't think OSU is going to win. I think Texas will win, but I don't want them to win. So we'll see what happens. Coming up, Colorado Buffaloes. I'll talk about that in a second. Colorado, obviously last year 1-11 for Colorado, and so this year with Coach Prime coming in, all his people that came in on the transfer portal, like over 50 players that came in, and they started off the year beating TCU, who was in the national championship game last year. Obviously not as good of a TCU team as 2022, but they did start off the year winning that game, and they actually started out 4-1 with a ton of hype. You had rappers, you had Lil Wayne running out of the tunnel, you had the guy Glock, you had The Rock coming to a game, giving a speech. You had ESPN in Boulder. You had for College Game Day their big show on Saturdays. You had all this hype going on for Colorado, and it's amazing to me because I've never seen so much hype and the almost arrogance of the team. And I love Deion Sanders. I've watched him when he was a player. I thought he was awesome. I love his game. We know he can talk some smack and he gets excited and stuff like that. But my thing is that sometimes it's a little over the top when the whole team is. I didn't like all the other shenanigans, the rappers, just even though he knows them or he might be friends with them. I just think it's over the top. I mean, that's just and play. And some of the Colorado fans I've seen on X are like, oh well, they don't care. They just want they just want them to have exposure and this and that. So they're really just there for the clicks and the hype and the attention and stuff like that. So I guess from that aspect, he did a great job. But when you come out and you start being real cocky and you start doing certain things, you got to back it up. You become a target. You're basically putting a target on your team's back. So you got to back it up. And so what happened was in the second half of the year is they did not back it up. And so it's been kind of rough. They lost 7 of the last 8. And so, and it was funny that you've seen people on X too commenting on, oh, well, he got 4 wins, and I think it was RG3. RG3, I liked him as a player. I can't stand him as a commentator. I cannot stand RG3 as a commentator. To me, he's always trying to be over the top, sensational. It seems like he spends, I don't know how much money he spends on social media. This guy's he's all about his social media exposure. And I think he's trying so hard to be like a well-known famous guy. He's trying so hard to get clicks and social media. I think he's all into this and social media and stuff, like over the top. And he said, oh, well, this is something like this was unprecedented what Deion did going from 1-11 last year and taking over a team and going to 4 wins. And I'm like, it's been done before. And I think it was Jason Whitlock that pointed out it was done in 2012 or 2013 at Colorado, actually. And I'm like, why would he say it's the best ever when it's not even that? It was that year, 2012. And then 1985, I think it was Bill McCartney, the old Colorado head coach, who I think was he head of Promise Keepers or something, the Christian organization for men? I think he was in charge of that for a while. But anyways, Bill McCartney went from 1-11 in 84 to 7-5 the next year. He improved 6 wins. So, I mean, yeah, it was a great year for Colorado. Don't get me wrong. I mean, 1-11 to 4-8. I mean, that's obviously a good improvement. But don't tell me it's the best ever. Stop it, RG3. See, there's guys on ESPN, and if you notice that ESPN, they all say the same thing. They all want to be groupies with Coach Prime. They want to be his little clique. And it was very obvious. Everybody was just riding that bandwagon. They want to be on the right side of Prime. They're scared to death to say anything honest and objective. They have to ride that wave and be on that groupie scene. So it was just really crazy. I think it was even crazier on Fox with Skip Bayless and that crew. I mean, oh my God. I think they were talking about Deion every other segment earlier this year. So we'll see what happens there. I saw yesterday that they had a 4-star or 5-star recruit at quarterback decommit from Colorado. So that's not good. And I've seen some other, I think, two decommits from wide receivers that were supposed to go to Colorado. So I think that the season did start real well, but I would say that it's really kind of mediocre, just from the sense of how it ended. I thought it ended pretty bad, not just from a win standpoint, just from the outlook. Because when you start, even though you improved 3 times, you won 4 out of 5, but then you lost like 7 out of 8. His son, Shadir Sanders, has like a serious back injury now, and it's just, I don't know. It just seems like, as great as it started, it ended terribly. So I don't feel real warm and fuzzy from that aspect how it ended. I'd rather end strong, start slow, and strong on a season like that than start strong and end really, really 7 out of 8 losses and your top player is injured with a back injury. So, anyways, we'll see what happens there. The polls have not changed. The 2024 election coming up, the polls haven't changed much at all. On the Republican side, you got Trump up a lot in every poll. In Iowa, he's up 27. New Hampshire, he's up 30. South Carolina, he's up 30. DeSantis is number 2 in Iowa. Haley's number 2 in Carolina, or New Hampshire and South Carolina. And Ron DeSantis is actually 5th in New Hampshire, or 4th actually now. 4th in New Hampshire, according to the 538 polls averages right now. So it's funny to me, though, that really Ron DeSantis is in an Iowa or bust game plan right now. He's all about Iowa. So if he loses Iowa, he's done. He's done. I mean, he's absolutely done, because Iowa, like I said, it's the first state. It's only 47 days away, I think, on January 15th when that happens. But I'm always amazed that, they keep saying, a lot of DeSantis supporters online, they really feel like he's going to win Iowa. And he could win Iowa. I'm not saying he couldn't. I mean, he's got a better ground game than Trump. He's there. He's gone to all 99 counties. He's all over the place. But he's down by 26. He's down by 26 points. So the polls, we know the polls have been wrong for years. We know the polls were wrong in 2016. We knew that there was supposed to be a red wave in 2022. It didn't happen for the Republicans. They did win the House, but they didn't win enough seats in 22. But have you ever seen a poll off by 24, 25 points? Because I have not seen that. I have not seen someone be off by 24 or 25 and come back and win. I haven't seen it. And so DeSantis supporters, though, every time I say something on X, they come back and say, oh, well, here's this. And they'll show me, someone showed me today the New York Times odds of Hillary Clinton beating Trump, and it was 97-3 or something. And I'm like, those are odds. It's not polls. I mean, the odds are different. I mean, you look at any event, there's odds on stuff that's a percentage of the probability of them winning. It's not actually a poll. Because if you look at the 2016 polls right before the election, Clinton was +3, maybe 4. That was it. No more than 4. So, yeah, 3 or 4 points, Trump won. Well, but the thing is about that poll, though, they keep pointing to Hillary and Trump. And granted, it was a gigantic upset. But Trump didn't even win the popular vote. So, really, it was still Clinton +1. He just won the Electoral College. So, really, they were only off by 3 points. So, are they going to be off by 25, 26? I mean, I don't. And then you talk about turnout. Well, that's true, too. I'm not saying that he couldn't win. There's always a possibility. Obviously, I don't know what the turnout's going to be either. I have no idea. I mean, Trump, in my opinion, seems like a guy that I don't know. First off, I don't even know how he's polling this high. I have no idea. He's not even really campaigning. He's been indicted 4 times. And we all agree, a lot of us on the right, that he was unjustly indicted. We can all agree on that. But it did happen. So you know, you got to think, man, and his poll numbers kept going up. So I think the excitement level is not nearly as high as 2016 for Trump. I don't think he's polling higher, but the only problem with Trump is I think his excitement level, it's not that. I don't know if he's going to bring out the voters. That's the only thing the other people have a chance of, the only other candidates. Haley's been surging for a while. Believe me, I'd rather have DeSantis than Haley is absolutely a disaster. I mean, she's a pro-war hawk. She's totally a typical politician. I think she's actually kind of liberal on abortion. And quite honestly, she's just a war hawk. I mean, the lady loves war. And I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know why they keep going to her. I don't understand it. And no, I'm not a sexist. So you can't say nothing about anybody. If you say something about a woman that's like about a woman politician, then you're just a sexist. No, I'm actually not. I'm just saying that I think she would be a terrible president. And I don't want her in office. I can guarantee you that. You want World War III? Get Nikki Haley. She loves war. And then Vivek Ramaswamy, who he's really I love the guy. I think he's a fantastic candidate. He's a total he's got the highest upside in my opinion. I mean, I get it. He's kind of unknown still. I mean, he doesn't have a record, and quite honestly, obviously, it's easier to run when you don't have a record. You can talk more, and that's the thing about Trump, though. If you think about it, when he ran in Trump's not a guy that's going to admit anything wrong, right? He's not going to admit, oh, I fucked up. Trump's not going to do that. He's not one of those guys that's going to be like, yeah, I screwed up. So if he gets a record, he's not going to do well because he's not going to do that. You know, he's not good running on record. He was better when he ran on no record, because when you run on no record, I mean, hell, you can say anything. But I will say Vivek I think he is a once in a generational star for the Republican Party. That's just my intention. I think he's articulate. He has a vision that is traditional. I think he has he hits all the right points. I mean, about we have an identity crisis in America, and we do. I mean, we have a big identity crisis. We don't even know who the hell we are. We don't even know who the hell we are. We don't even know. We don't have an identity. We're just walking around, just wandering around. We don't even know, because I mean, that's kind of the backside of immigration. I mean, immigration is great, but it's not in some ways. You when you come to America, you have to know English, or you have to know certain things and you get ingrained in the culture. If not, you just have chaos. You see all these people online, all these people, they hate Israel. They don't give a damn about Israel. They're all about Palestine. They're all about, oh, Hamas is a terrorist organization. Oh, I love it. They don't give a damn about America. They don't care. Okay, so I mean, that's fine. I mean, you get a bunch of people that don't give a damn about your country in there. I mean, that's the stuff we gotta watch. So, but Vivek Ramaswamy, I mean, he's, and I agree with it's not isolationism, but he's all about, man, we got to take care of our country first, and then, yeah, we'll support, I think he wants to support Israel, let Israel make the decision, but we got to be cognizant of the fact that we don't want to spread into a bigger regional war in the Middle East, and so we're worried about other people's borders, not our own. So we got to make sure we're doing that. And so I love Vivek Ramaswamy in the aspect of, I think he's getting young voters. I think he's very active. He's very articulate. And I think he's got a lot of things to give. I love things he says. So that's all I got, folks. So DeSantis, like I said, a lot of stuff going on. No polls updates, really. I don't see any new Iowa polls, New Hampshire, South Carolina. But I will be updating in a couple of days. Thursday or Friday, I'll do another video. Thank you, and have an outstanding night. Thank you.